My way home, and the love of my soul guides my way home.
This is amazing. This is a home seminar. Yay! I walked in and I said, wow, this is a room of love. Thank you so much for being here. And I made a little mistake. I had misunderstood the formation, so I kind of didn't do it right. But I figure we could just, in our imagination, figure we're in somebody's living room. How about JR's? And we get the blessing of being with this traveler. And John was so wise in the car. I thought I want to call in the light, of course, for all of us. But he suggested that I share with you about having been a home seminar leader. I'm still a home seminar leader. I don't think it goes away. But 41 years ago, I did my first home seminar. It's amazing. And I was so shy, and Sally Kirkland was there. She, my great nudger, and I wanted to hide behind the stairs, and she said, no, you were just made a seminar leader. You can't hide behind the stairs. You have to actually come out in front of the people. There were 6 people. But within a year, we were up to 100 people. And my wingman was an initiate minister, Craig Rand. And for, God bless you, Craig, if you're watching there. And for 5 years, we never missed one Sunday. And I don't know that we were ever under 100 people. And there might be a lot of people here who came in through those seminars. Alex Padilla, there's some Alex Padilla's first seminar. Oh, it's so good. Hi, Will. Wow, this is cool. And Craig was a masterful cook. So he, let's see, I don't think tempting is the word, but he created a spread afterwards that was absolutely extraordinary. So my experience of a home seminar, which is going to be included tonight, is some wonderful treats afterwards downstairs. So there's a very important reason also for this evening, and John Morton's birthday. To you, I knew you'd do that. That's great. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Johnny. Happy birthday to you. And you may have noticed this, sorry, my son used to shoot me when I used to talk about him this way, but this beautiful, majestic young man to John's left is Zane Morton. Do you want to say anything? Yeah.
All right. Are we going? Okay. So, 41 years. That's crazy. This will be my first. Is anyone else's first home seminar here? All right. So,
I'll claim it.
yeah, that's great. So we're doing these every Tuesday now. I haven't come yet, but
Tonight.
but I'm here now, and we're gonna keep doing them Tuesdays. So let's keep getting people going. Let's get this going, because it's my dad's birthday, but we're also here for the man JR, and yeah, let's do this.
Okay. All right. That's what I call a seed, a big seed. So let's call on the light, and I just adore you all. Thank you so much. Hi, Mary. Hi, Ron. Hi. Okay. Father, Mother God, this is your home seminar. We're coming home to you. Wherever we are, it's an opportunity for it to be a home seminar. We love the silence. And we receive your presence in this silence as we open ourselves to receive as well the light of the Holy Spirit. And we see this light filling us, surrounding us, blessing us and protecting us. And we ask for the mystical traveler and the preceptor consciousness, as it is in our beloved, beloved John Roger. We know you're with us, that you're here, JR, that you're in us and we're in you and you're in us. We ask for blessings on this traveler, John Morton, who walks with us. Make sure that there's no stray sheep in the bushes, that he keeps us going straight. I'm going to try not to claim myself as one of those little sheep, but occasionally I am. We're so grateful. And Jesus Christ, thank you for being... Clearly you're here too. So this is a big celebration. We're all in the light, in our souls, going home to God together. And for those of you that are new, wow, you've got... Welcome. God bless us all. In Berush Bashem. Anna.
Sounds like I'm on, huh? So, welcome. Wherever the traveler is a home, and you know, I'm reminded of a saying about home is where you make it. And then I'm also reminded that Jesus said, you know, something like, the Son of Man doesn't have a place to lay his head. And I just look at it like that's because in what we're doing here, it's always awake. It takes place wherever we are. So the kingdom is within. To give you a little idea of how this particular event occurred, there was an invitation a while back to do an event during this month somewhere. But I think the invitation was over for, well, I like to still call it Prana. But, it's a Peace Awareness Labyrinth and Gardens. Thank you. So one of the reasons I'd like to call it Prana is I'm still working on remembering the name for that place. But it's also known as the home of the traveler. But tonight, this is the home. And part of that is because on Tuesday nights, there are seminars here, home seminars. So where's Andrea at the moment? What's she doing downstairs? Okay, there you go. She's at the door, making sure people can come in, which I'm glad you're doing that, Andrea. But in any case, so she's holding the anchor, and I know Jack Faber is also involved. So Jack, please stand up. Thank you. And there's some other locations. If you're currently active hosting home seminars, would you stand up? Anybody in the room currently active with hosting home seminars? There you are. Thank you. I'm going to give Lee a little job for later at the end, but there's opportunity to do an announcement about home seminars. Will, didn't I just talk to you and you were like in Atlanta or something like that? In Atlanta? Okay, that's okay. I'm imagining things. That's all right. We'll work that out, you know. In any case, I really wanted to move into the spirit of it. My first MSA event was an MSA home seminar in San Luis Obispo in 1974. And I think at that point I was at the least some kind of vagabond, somebody on the move, somebody who didn't want to get committed more or less to anything. But something happened at the first seminar that was very powerful and moving, and what I was looking for, even though consciously, in large part, I didn't understand what that experience was, but it was very powerful. So those of you who are new, is this your first MSI event here tonight? Just if you put your hand up, welcome. Welcome. And maybe just open up that some kind of experience that you're looking for in the very best way is present right now. And with what Lee did as the invocation, we invite the presence of the traveler consciousness to be fully available. So that's also something that does not inflict, so it does require your openness to that experience. It's okay if you're not ready for that. You're like, it's too soon, I'm checking you out. You know, that's something that we teach. Check it out. See what's here. In my experience of home seminars, we start out with the light with whoever's hosting, the home seminar leader. That could be one person, it could be, like in Lee, in my case, you know, we are husband and wife, so it could work that way. It could be that there are home seminar leaders that share the responsibility with a location. So if you thought about that, well, I don't want to be tied down, maybe it's something where you could partner up with some other home seminars leaders. And part of what I'm interested in doing is creating more home seminars, activating them. I loved what Zane said, like, let's get it going here. Let's get the party started. I was talking to Zoe. Zoe in the house tonight? There she is, okay. And maybe you haven't caught this part yet, but you know Zoe, but you didn't know she has a husband now. Eric, and we were really talking about some things that we could be doing to make MSI something like more interesting for younger people or some idea like that. But at one point during this meeting, I said, well, just take over home seminars, because basically they're asleep and they need to be woke up. Like they're not really happening. People don't understand the value. So another event kind of happened recently where we had a get-together with people that lived and worked with JR. It was just a social occasion, but at some point, they turned to me and said, how can we help you? And basically, it wasn't like, well, give me $50, that'll help. It was more like, how can we help you as the traveler? Well, maybe $50, that would help too. But, and really what came out of that was to activate the home seminars. So J. Sue Garcia, please stand up if you don't know J. Sue Garcia. So you've conducted like 3 home seminars in this room in the last few weeks? Yeah. So they are active, but Andra and Jack are basically anchoring it. And it really is something where if you are a home seminar leader and you'd like to come into the rotation of a Tuesday night seminar here at 2101, that's my vision, that we could share this building, because it's available. It's owned by the Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness. We also have the University of Santa Monica, who really utilizes this business to the max. And because they're here tonight, I'd like to introduce you to Ron and Mary Holnick are here. Please stand up. And also Insight Seminars is very active in this building as well. So there you go. All right. So we're going to do some contributions, but before that, where was that, Phil? Where did we find this clip, this excerpt from JR? Do you remember? We're about to play. From December 1970, and I'm having Phil Danza, who. What's the password to soul transcendence? Okay. So I don't know what the occasion was, because I often have JR on, if you will, a lot of times in the middle of the night. So then I don't even know, well, what was that? But in any case, he was talking about contributions, the value of contributions. You ready? So this is an audio, so we're going to hear the voice of John Roger.
In the seminars, when I listen to each one of you bring your consciousness forward and speak in the group, I'm reminded over and over again the value of the contributions. And it works on so many levels that I sit back and I think, I wonder if they really realize what they just cleared, what they just did. And I find out a lot of times that you don't. Because after a contribution, you may find yourself hung back up on what you said. And that isn't the way to move into the consciousness of who you are. Especially if it's been something where you bared your soul and you soul searched to say the words. And I know it, and you know it. But when we are in the process of the contributions, that's a very specialized technique of showing you how to handle situations. And what we're saying, in essence, is that you people will be presented with situations very similar. What could look as being identical. How are you going to handle that? What is it that you can say? Now, especially if you were in that situation and you presented it, and I gave you an answer, and I just said, okay, next, move on. You might feel like, wow, you didn't pay attention to what I said. I mean, I really said a lot, and you just said, okay, next, and moved on. What's with you? And the answer is that is how you must handle situations, is to say it, clear it, and get on. That is the only way that love can be truly demonstrated to you. So much of the time up here, I'm demonstrating a form of love by allowing you to empty your consciousness into me as you speak in contributions. Many times, I just let you dump what you care to dump at that particular time, and then I go on to the next person, and all I do is sort of like pack that away real fast and get ready for the next one, and sort of looking ahead for the next one. But then again, when I say next, I'm really saying, I love you very much, and I'm always with you. Don't be concerned or burdened down with what you've just said. I am clearing it for you right now. That's what next means. It means you can let go of that now. You brought it up, you cleared it, and a lot of times when I say okay, that means that's through. I love you very much. You don't have to do that again. It's okay. But I don't make a big issue of going in and explaining to you. You see, it would take us probably 2 hours after you got through contribution. I said, now I want you to know that I love you very much, and I am really going to work very hard for you to help clear these things. And the next one says it, and I say, I want you to know now that I love you very much, and I'm going to go. Pretty soon you think, what is this? This is my way of saying, I love you very much. I did listen. And I am working in a way that cannot be explained to you because you can't understand. But many of you have seen the results, and then you wondered, like, could that have come about when that was impossible? And it's because you said, would I mind helping or looking in on it? And of course I don't mind at all. You see, that's my job, and I do my job. See, I do it 100% of the time, 100%. So you really don't have to do anything, and it will still get done. The people that I'm working with in this, we don't have any failures. If you choose to back off, that's quite all right. But you'll make it, and you'll make it through the mystical traveler consciousness, because that's the school or the consciousness that has these keys to establish you in the soul realm.
Okay, so that's where we are right now. We're in contributions. Practically speaking, with what I had in mind, I just got kind of the way to do it, and so here we go. This is like presented to me while Jared was talking. So in a moment, I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to say your name out loud. And then when I do, I want you to consider that what John Roger was just talking about is fully engaged right now. So this opportunity to bring it before the traveler consciousness, what's it? Well, you can do it when you say your name, just as a way of you acknowledging that you would like the blessing, that you would like what the light can do for you that we've called forward here through the presence of the Christ and the traveler consciousness. A while back, like in 1988, and if you're newer, even if you're not, don't be concerned about what does that mean, but there was a transferring of the keys with John Roger to me so that I can hold and conduct the consciousness. And it's more like I do. In a way, regardless of at times what I might think about it, because it's not about my thinking, it's about what the ability is of this consciousness. And so I just encourage you to, be open so that if you are new and you're still checking this out, that's very appropriate, but you can still partake. You can have the direct experience by just being open to the traveler consciousness within you, to be active with what's going on for you, so you can bring your issues, bring whatever might be a disturbance for you, a challenge, a difficulty. It could have to do with your health, it could have to do with situations in your life, relationships, where you work, what's going on financially, what's going on in the world, whatever it is. Or we bring it into the light, then Traveler has a way of moving that around. And this can take place regardless of where the traveler is physically, which is good. But then when the traveler is present and those who carry that consciousness as initiates, as ministers, things can happen. And when two or more of us are gathered, things can happen because we put ourselves in what I call a grace field. We're in it. So whatever you would like lifted, cleared, balanced, whatever comes to mind with that level of concern for you, and you don't have to be aware of it, so it can be something unconscious. Whatever would serve you in your learning and your growth, in your evolvement as a soul, as your blessing. So the traveler can move into this from within. So it's going to be primarily from within you. The least of it takes place outside. As Jared talked about, often when he would work with people, and many of you experienced it, for many years now, so you know exactly what that is. These things would happen, and some of that would be information, but often that's the least of it. What John Roger told people often was the least of it. What would happen in the moment and often after the moment would really be the demonstration of the blessing that can take place and your openness to move into it. And if you're inclined to do that for yourself, then there's no limitation really other than what you can handle and what you make yourself open to. There's no real limitation. So it's up to you. So if you say yes, remember this one? Sock it to me. Remember that one? Some of you were around for that. Then it would be like, oh, you said sock it to me. Do you really want that? But I just suggest, give this consciousness of the traveler an open opportunity. Okay, so on 3, say your name out loud if that's what you would like. 1, 2, 3. Okay. See how easy that is? And also, I would like to give you an opportunity to do a contribution. You might say, you mean like a sharing? Sure, but let's bring it into the focus of a contribution at a home seminar. And often it's like, what would you like to put in the light? And often people just put their name in the light, and that's all that's really necessary, especially if it would be difficult to talk about or it would seemingly take all night or something like that. That's not our purpose. Maybe there's just something you want to place in the light. And then I'll leave it open. I may have something to say, I may not have anything to say, or whatever that phrase was that, Jared said earlier. I don't remember the words right now, but it's kind of like, bless you. Something on that order. So if you would like to share, we'll bring you a microphone, and then I'd like you, if you can, if it works for you, to stand up, say your name, and whatever else you'd like to put in the light. So is that you, Phil? All right. Phil!
Hi, my name is Phil, and it's very nice to be here. I just want to say, dear God, please place me in the light for the highest good. And it really is about this. My point of view is God, the traveler, the Christ. Know all the things that I have going on in my life, and that some of the things that I don't know that are going on in my life. I like to place the light there for the highest good, and just all those things. There's my laundry list inside. It's really great to be here. I'm glad we're doing this, and the main message I want to say is that I love you all. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll come over here, and then let's see, anybody on this side? All right, so We'll do you after Mark over here.
Hola. I love all of you so much, and it's such a pleasure to be here with this energy. It's just amazing. I think the most important thing for tonight is to toast this man, because John took the saddle that none of us wanted.
Well, not quite, but go ahead.
And he has plowed the fields, and he has never given up for 1 second. He has carried the light to thousands of people all over the world, and he's brought John Roger to all of them. And that is something, John, that none of us have been able to do like you. So I respect you, I love you, I support you in every way. And they say, Berush Beishan.
Okay.
For myself, I have nothing really to ask for, but more awareness of the traveler and the Christ inside of me. I really have no wishes. Everything that I could ever imagine is more than taken care of. So my goal here in my life is to serve in the way that works best from the Christ through me. And I love you all so much. There's just no way I can express that. I mean, I feel like you're all my children too. Bald head, get older. Anyway, God bless you all.
Thank you.
My name is Lillian Bejour, and just my heart is very grateful. Thank you so much. I love you. And I'm asking for assistance with relationships, with healing my heart, just really opening my heart to healing with family, with friends, and coworkers. Thank you.
Okay. We'll come here to Lawrence, and then over here.
I'm Lawrence Dean Jordan. I've never used my full name in a seminar before, so for some reason it's up to do that. And I place in the light my laundry list, which I already did, which I won't go and bore you with. Well, for the highest good, just the laundry list. My family, Amy and Emily, and Ethan and Hunter Musgrave, and my ministry, and how it works now, and what I can do to assist with the traveler's work. Thank you. Okay. And my soul transcendence, mind you.
All right.
My name is Brooke Pye, and just asking for the light to Brad Pye for his highest good, for me, for my highest good, Lee Clausen and Kay Clausen for their highest good. And it's just an honor to be here sharing with everybody. I love you all, and it's thanks for inviting us to your home for your birthday, and I'm honored to be here. Thanks.
Okay. A young man in the back right there, and then come up over here on the aisle right there. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Louis Morton. I would like to place on the light my mother, my dad. Also, my brother-in-law and my sister who's having a baby right now. I mean, she's carrying it. And, you know, my little nephew, just put him in the light right now. Also, people that I haven't had, you guys might have saw in France Corinne, who was the guide, I guess, because I was not aware about what was happening in France, but all people who are in France, and also John Morton, because he's like a really good friend of mine, and really happy that you're here right now. Nat, Team Tati, just I put you guys in the light right now. Well, Magli, she might be sleeping, but I guess she's right now sleeping. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Richard Chan. I attended my first home seminar in 1986. It was at Lauren Coe's home. And I experienced a great connection with this man called JR on this tape that we were watching. Ever since then, it's been quite a journey of inner discovery, greater fulfillment, and a greater knowing of spirit. And through that, I've got to thank Insight, because that's how I got involved and discovered MSIA. And so my participation currently is assisting Insight in expanding as much as I can. So if any of you has come in through Insight or would like to know what's going on currently, please check out the Insight Facebook page, or just call the Insight LA office, and we would love to have you join us and be part of the energy. Thank you.
I'll make it easy, go right next door to Paul, and then go over here to Rick.
Hi, my name's, yep.
Yes.
Oh,
For
excuse
the
me.
microphone person there. There you go.
Hi, my name is Paul, and really happy to be here this evening. And when Richard stood up and talked about his first seminar, the memories came flooding back about my first seminar in 1971 in England. And a lady called Mitzi Shelley had come over from Miami, and she had held the first seminar there. And I would just listen. I wasn't terribly interested. My friend Nicholas Brown would be bringing me along, and I would imagine John Roger to be a thin hippie guy with a long black beard. And that's who he was in my mind. And I kept going over to Nicholas's place, and then one day I saw a picture on the mantle, and I said, "Who's that?" And this was months later, and he said, "That's John Roger." I went, "That's John Roger." So for many years, it was just me and Nicholas Brown and Natalie Franks, and Jack Stander was around at that time as well. So home seminars are very dear to me. It's where I spent the first 4 years of MSIA until I came out here. So we would get together, and that was my experience of MSIA. John Roger did visit, but we did seminars in Nicholas Brown's apartment. And then when I came out to Prana in 1975, they caught in the light and they chanted the Anai Hugh, and I was blown away. All these people chanting the Anai, I'd never heard it together. There's always been 3 or 4 people. So it was an extraordinary experience. So I'm very happy to be here, and just fond memories of home seminars. And I did attend a home seminar at Lee Taylor Young's in Benedict Canyon, and that really was a special event. So home seminars, so glad to see that we're just really, just kicking it off again, because it's so special. Thank you.
Well, I have to have a question. There was a guy who showed up at my home for a home seminar like in 1976 or something like that, and he looked a lot like you, and his name was Paul Kay.
That's right. It was 1975, and
75.
it was my first trip to LA, and I was taken up to Sacramento. And they said, "There's this new guy who's holding seminars. You have to come along and meet him." It was Bethany Ali Dilcher, who's still around, and Rosemary Davidson, I believe, who has since passed. And there was this, exactly like he is now. He was sitting in this chair, almost exactly like that. And I mean, it was John with all that quietness and all that presence. And it was just like he was just right then, right back then. He was really that presence that we're seeing here today. And it was just right there, right from that moment. So great moment to see.
Thank you. That's good confirmation.
Yeah, no, it really was. It was all there. So, yeah.
God bless you.
Absolutely. God bless you, John. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Got Rick over here.
My name is John Richard, and just such a pleasure to be here. One of the things that's really important in my life now that I'm practicing learning is what I'm doing with my consciousness throughout the day, and watching where I place it, watching how often I have it in awareness of spirit or of the light, and when I don't, and just learning to practice that focus on an ongoing basis. So any assistance with that, I would welcome. Love you very much. Blessings of light for everyone here. God bless us all.
Well, what you're reminding me of is something, well, there's a lot of ways JR introduced us to what you're asking for. but one in particular is called Practicing the Divine Presence, and observation that everything and every moment is an opportunity to be aware of the divine, to look for the good in people and things at every moment. You know, well, Jared called it a secret, but it's not a secret. It's something that works. So it becomes a spiritual exercise that's awake whenever we are, and to remember that, especially so that we keep ourselves in a place that's free of judgment, free of condemnation, and lets the Spirit come in and do what it can do through the Christ, which is to lift all things, that all debts are paid when we allow that blessing of forgiveness and renewal to be done. Thank you. John Richard, okay. All right, so did you have your hand up, young lady? Okay, well, so we'll do here, Lee, and then make it close by. So, Jace, who's next?
What I'd like to place in the light, we have an upcoming trip to South America. We leave November 1 to do service we start in Chile, then Montevideo, Buenos Aires, and then Brazil. So for myself, I put in the light my service, my support of this traveler, and whatever facilitating I do. But we do a lot of counselings, and it's a real privilege to do it. So I place all that in the light. I also place in the light with the traveler and the Christ is the preparation for the passage into spirit, resurrection in the Christ, which is Pad 8, or what will be in place of grace this year to Silomar. And I put in the light the working with John on it and Candace Emigran, and that God just brings forward the next great thing, and that I'm a servant of God. And thank you. Love you, everybody.
Hi, I'm fat. Rick Green, is that really your name? All right, sorry, dude. I got to get an update on that one. Richard what? John Richards, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was like, Rick Green, that's bullshit. No, I'm just I should edit a little bit more. I'm Jesus Garcia, and I lived with John Roger for 26 years. And I love Donald Trump. I'm not braggadocious. Not until, say, it's been like a year. Like, I see how grateful I am. And I was walking down the street the other day going, shit, I could have really done the work. And I got to give credit to these people over here, Ron and Mary Honick. I'm getting a lot of awareness from the trios. And the 100 books they make you read. Yeah, I could have worked it really well. And by the way, that's really painful. I'm laughing right now, but it's a lot of pain. And USM helps with that too. But on a serious note, seeing your faces, being here, and I'm so proud of this dude right here. JR is here because you're here. And that's my fix. That's what I get off on. I gotta come to these events. They make me see JR. I see JR in all of you. I love you, Nicole, and I love all of you. Happy birthday. And I'm so proud of this dude. I am his real father. John doesn't want to admit it. I want to say right now, I put in work. And so did Nathaniel and Eric and Mark. We and Rick, we raised this kid sometimes. And so he had a lot of beautiful, tough dudes raising him. I love you. Happy.
So we go over here, and the young man back there. So you'll be next after Michael.
My name is Michael Weinberger. Happy birthday, Johnny. A lot of things flooding me when one of my first insights, we do a million thing, and this guy looked in my eyes, this guy over there, and I said, man, this guy can really stare. I mean, it was something else. And I was a seminar leader for many, many years, probably from 86 or whatever, 10 years or so, with this beautiful woman named Jake Weinberger. And I'd love to send her light where she is right now. I'm very grateful for JR and to all the fun and the fun we keep having. I'd like to send light to Eli, Joey, and Bobby. I'd like to ask light for my travels, inner and outer, that are coming up. And everything that Phil said.
Hi, my name is Simon Torres, and yeah, I'm just super proud to be part of the MSIA, and I feel super blessed to be here and to share and allow myself to participate in this energy and in this collective consciousness. And yeah, God bless us all. Love you all. Thank you.
We'll go with the doctor over here, yeah. And let's see, right here. We'll do you next.
Hi, my name is Jeff McCombs, and I want to place myself and my family, Ana Maria, Ethan Kai, and Ana Sofia, and my brother Terry. It's great to have this a family of light. He had to go to the hospital. He was flown to the hospital yesterday because he was having symptoms of a stroke, and so I kind of put the word out, wrote John, put it on the Facebook pages, and they did a CAT scan and said he had 80% blockage of the carotid artery. And then the next day it wasn't there. So, you know, the light really works that way. It works so fast. Place my businesses and finances in the light. My first seminar was, home seminar was 1989 in Chicago, and I went and, you know, it was just everything that JR talked about was like everything I was studying in my life at that point. And it was such a fascinating seminar, and I was just like so clued, you know, to the seminar. And at the end, I looked around, and everybody was sleeping. And I was just like, what are you guys sleeping for? This was so great. And, you know, and it's been great and greater, and, you know, it just keeps getting better all the time. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's see, go over here, and then let's see, go over to Ron over here. Oh, yes, I've had you up, so go ahead. You're next.
Hi, my name is Patricia. My first home seminar was in 1982 at Jackie's and Jim Peterson's home. There were two little girls running around always, and she was pregnant with a Danielle. At that time, it was very beautiful. I was asking, I didn't know Jared much, but I was saying, I hope that my children are blessed because I left them behind in Mexico and I came here. And I always ask for the light for them, my 5 children. Now, in this seminar, I want to ask for the light for my 5 children and 9 grandchildren. they're all blessed. They're all being taken care of. JR is really doing a wonderful job with them and with me. So keep me in the light this Christmas. I'm going to see my brother who has Parkinson, and I just need the light for that because the rest is perfect. Thank you. Patricia.
Thank you.
My name is Nick Siegel, and I stand in this room and I can remember a perspective when JR was sitting up there, and Insight is what brought me in, and Richard Chen right around that same time in '86. I just remember looking at JR and just sobbing. And he didn't need to say a word. He just looked at me, and he just got it. And he is so in this room right now, and it is just so exquisite. And Zeus, God love you. Never change one iota, because you have a way inside of me of just lifting me up, and I just hang on every word. And there are very few people that can do that to me. So I just want to place myself in the light and the world, and as I dance through it. And France was exquisite to really learn such sweet lessons inside of me, and the claiming and the asking for Spirit's assistance and the traveler. To my fiancée Laura, to my ex-wife Deborah, to my daughter Annie and my son Ted, and to all of us, this family, because we are one. And Victor, it's great to see you. God bless.
My name is Ron, and I first got involved with MSIA when Robert Waterman, who some of you may remember, turned us on to discourses way back in the early 1980s. And then we came out here to do Insight One, which somehow we thought was you had the day free in LA to just go around and see stuff. And then at night, we would have a seminar with John Roger, and that was Insight One. Ha ha ha. And who else was in our Insight One? John Morton was in our Insight One. And, you know, what can I say? Our life has just been blessed beyond anything I had ever imagined. And, you know, to be entrusted with this ministry that we've been given is what more can anybody ask for? And John, happy birthday. And personally, just for me, and I think I speak for Mary as well, I cannot imagine anybody daring to step forward and follow John Roger and do it faithfully for all these years. So thank you so much for that. And thank you.
I got it. Thank you. Thank you.
And Mary and I are certainly committed to continue keeping on this work. And we ask all for your light because we are just really doing our best. We're just really doing our best to attempt to get Jesus to really come into the fold in a full way. So that's our main task right now. So.
Let's see. I'll do a couple more. So let's see. Heidi and the young lady on the aisle over there, next to Ozzy.
It's so beautiful to be here. I was so brought back to my early days when I think the only thing that kept me alive.
Say your name.
Heidi.
There you go.
Were Monday night seminars at the Light Center in New York City. And I remember I don't know, how many of you have been to the Light Center in New York City? A lot of people. The New York contingency had a place that many ministers of light lived in at the time, and what I remember most is we had to walk up at least 100 stairs. Am I exaggerating? By the way, they don't do seminars anymore there because we're too old to get up the 100 stairs. But what I remembered most was there were times I went in there and I was still getting high. I literally came into MSIA from Studio 54. It was like one night I was in Studio 54. Somebody handed me a cassette in a hair salon, and it was the days when you got your hair cut, you would flip your head over, and they would cut, and they would put you in all these positions. And somebody put a tape recorder literally by me and said, listen to this tape. And I listened, and I still got high that night. And you know, I was doing my life, and gradually getting high lost its appeal, and getting high a new way came in. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. So I just ask that you hold me in the light for my writing. And I know you're going to all see the man in my life in a few minutes. John has pulled an excerpt from when he was very young, and if you can hold him in the light. He's not with us tonight. He's on a trip. Michael. And I love you all so much. So much. And I miss JR. And thank you, John, for holding.
Hi, my name is Maravilla Delgadillo, and I ask you could please hold me in the light. I've been dealing with breast cancer for the past 6 years, and I've been doing a few alternative therapies, and so right now I was diagnosed again, so I'm doing the best I can. And I ask the light if is there any blockage that I've been putting myself, any forgiveness, anything that might be in my way blocking me for my healing. So I open for that clearing for my highest good, but I ask God that I'm open completely. Yes, whatever happens, I'm okay with that. I'm in His hands. I'm so happy and so grateful for being in this movement who gave a reason for my life, who wake me up in the way that I am. Thank you very much. I love you all. God bless us all.
So you want the privilege, the bonus. Go ahead.
I'm Zoe, and I would just like to send the light to a wonderful, energetic, tech-savvy volunteer that feels really called to take all of this energy on home seminars and to work with MSIA staff to really, the opportunities are endless. So I just place the light on that volunteer or many volunteers, and also on our Google Hangouts for home seminar leaders, that event that we're doing once a month. I just ask that the light be with us. And I hope that everyone knows my email in case they're interested, which is zoe@msia.org, because if you would like to join that Google Hangout support call for home seminar leaders, you would be so welcome, and we would love to have you, love to support you, love to help you support each other.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I hope you're enjoying this energy as much as I am and what we're bringing in, and consider that we're all in contribution at the moment. So I want to share a couple of birthday presents with you. So one of them occurred this morning in the form of a dream. And, you know, essentially I was in a city, and it was a European city, and we were in quite a few of them recently. But it wasn't all that recognizable. But I was on a square, like a fairly large square, and it was very bustling and active, like an early morning. And if you know me, you could say, well, if I was managing John, what would he be doing? And if you saw me with a computer in front of me, you'd say, well, there you go. That's survey says you're going to get some points for that. So I was on my computer, but I was by myself, and then, I just looked to my left, and I saw John Roger, and he looked almost exactly as he's going to look when we play a seminar, a home seminar, shortly now. And then at first I had a sense of disbelief because I was in now. That was my sense. I was in this time. And then, I was aware, like, well, like, is that you, John Roger? I actually asked, like, John Roger? And he just smiled and said something I heard him say many times. Do you want to go to breakfast? And Lee had made a suggestion about kind of a birthday breakfast. So when I woke up, and I was actually sobbing in the dream. And then when I woke up, I was just happy. And then we went to breakfast, and my experience was Jer joined us today, and I don't remember him ever doing something like that, like on an occasion. So for me, it was a very special experience that I got. Thank you, Jer. So the other birthday gift is that I've been wanting to see this seminar, since it took place in May of 1982. I think it was May 31st, in a place called Gustavus. It's like the Scandinavian spelling, like Gustavus, Alaska. And there was I used to handle the travel logistics for where did Jared's body go kind of thing, and then some of the staff, etc. But essentially, I arranged that, planned that kind of thing. So there was a request that came in, and I didn't know where this place was, but it was handwritten, and it was like a person representing, there's two of us who live on this island of Gustavus off the coast of Alaska near Juneau. And we have a couple of friends that, come to our home seminars. Would you come and do a seminar? And I thought, he's not going to do this. We don't know this place, but I'll run it by him. And then Jared said, yeah, I'll do that. And I didn't even know where it was, so that was part of it. So then later, we went up there with staff, and so in '82, I'd been on staff for about 3.5 or so years. And then Michael Fader was on staff at that time, and he was the latest guy, so he was kind of like brand new. And so Phil's selected Jared doing a part of that seminar, but it was like a seminar with 12 people. 6 of us were Jared and staff, and then the other 6 were the 4 people that they had talked about, and a couple extra who showed up or something like that. So we're going to take a little slice of the seminar. You'll hear Jared doing contributions. It's about 34 minutes long. If you want to go out, that means if you want to go to sleep, be my guest, because in my experience, it was almost mandatory that you go out. No matter how much I wanted to listen to those words, it seemed like I wasn't permitted. Somehow I would just go unconscious. So it is a video, and what's amazing is we stayed in a boarding house on Gustavus, and that was it. It was a boarding house maybe with 6 rooms. That's where we stayed, and then we had dinner, and then after dinner with the locals, because there wasn't that many of them, and then we drove on a kind of gravel road, and at some point we parked. It's like, where are we going? And we walked, I'd say at least 10 minutes to get to this log cabin. No electricity, no plumbing. And the reason we captured it is because we had the state-of-the-art equipment at that time that could run on batteries reel to reel. And you know, the light at 9 o'clock at night when we started was still pretty bright from being in Alaska in late May. You know, it was still light out. So here you go. Enjoy the seminar.
Years ago, we used to do contributions, and contributions are sort of interesting. Okay.
My name is John, and it's really been a lot of things, just as this seminar has been growing and happening with all of you. One of the things that has come up is I realized I wondered what it'd be like to be in a seminar with JR doing contribution. And when I started out about 7 years ago, I was up in Northern California and did the tape seminars, and we did contributions, and I heard about JR doing seminars with contributions, so this is a real treat for me. And also just the simplicity of being here. It's real special. When I first heard we were coming up to Alaska, at least that some of us were coming, it was like, oh boy, you know, I'd really like to get up here, and I'm experiencing why it is. There's something real beautiful that's present, and this setting is like, it's absolutely perfect. And for me to have a real intimate atmosphere in a log cabin with no electricity and a pump over there, and then the people that are living in the environment to make this contact, and the real warm reception that we were welcomed into today has just been real beautiful. And then it's just been so nice connecting in with each of you that are sharing and relating inside of me. Like that's what this whole connection I have with JR is, and light. It's always been a new reality, like coming out of the water. And I remembered the first seminar I was in where JR was present while contributions were going on. He didn't do a seminar that night, he just was present there to retreat. And I shared at the seminar in my contribution that it was like a feeling that I was a dog that had been out in the wet and the cold and the storm for a long, long time. And I finally got allowed to come in. And there was a fire and a loving family. And, you know, just a real, it's a real deep thing of me. And there's a real deep feeling of family in MSIA that if I start to talk about it, it shakes me up inside. It's like this thing that wants to come babbling out like a volcano. And I don't know the depth of it yet. I'm still encountering it and experiencing it. And it's something that, since I first had contact with JR, that it's been unraveling and coming up, and it's the thing that I feel the most connected to in my entire life. And I guess it's called spiritual awareness, or it's called God, or it's called the traveler. I don't know the titles for it. I just know the energy or the experience of it that keeps coming anew and alive every day. And I'm so thankful to be here.
Okay, thank you, John. I'm Michael. And I'm really thankful too. Beyond any words for being here at one. And this is about the third month of the seminar I've been at since February.
with JR and the rest of these guys. And that feeling of family, I thought I had with my family, and then I reconnected to something much greater, a family of all of us, which you in particular have shared with me just 24 hours a day. And I find that that family seems to keep growing everywhere that we go. There's people that I know inside, and that part that's inside of every one of those people I know. And it's kind of, it's amazing to me. I just felt a tremendous warmth. And looking back at, for whatever reasons, brought me to be with you and be traveling with you is a remarkable experience. And the experience goes beyond wherever we are. I mean, this place is amazing. It's like a dream. It's like that place in from out of the cold. But there's another place inside that, which is in here, which just seems to keep growing and strengthening. And it doesn't matter where we go, really, anymore. And the water's a real strong connection for me, it always has been. And I remember an experience last year where I went on a long paddle one morning by myself out to this little bitty island. And I didn't know it was out there or anything. I went out and I was just kind of singing inside. I just felt a real strong, it's like I felt this family thing, but I didn't know how to describe it or what it was or anything. It was going on inside me. It's sort of a singing kind of a place. And when I got out there were hundreds of seals all over this rock. Nobody around. I just was kind of frightened inside. And so I kind of looked at it, calculating, well, should I do that? I really want to. Everything in me wanted to go and get on that island. But I kind of just floated around in the water on my surfboard and was sort of tempted to do it. Finally, I just took a real deep breath and just went off and touched this island. I was real tired and I dragged myself up on it. And I felt like kind of a king. I got up and I started clapping like a seal and making a fool. I mean, there's nobody around. It just felt so good to have gone beyond a fear or a program and just, hey, I want to do that, so I'll just do it and go beyond the fear. And everywhere we've gone, I've seen people doing that, whether it's in seminars sharing or in inside events or here tonight. I mean, you create a place, JR, that allows that to happen, just supports it happening. It's a love beyond any definition, word, or loving that can be described, but every single one of us in this room feels it inside here, because I know I do. And I just feel that deep loving for all of you and for myself, and I'm grateful for you being here. I love you. Okay.
I have been involved with MSIA for a short period of time, but it's a period of time that's been a very sad time in my life. And there's been a real specialness for me to be involved with these people, the Juno group of MSIA. And I feel that one of the things that has helped me through the trying times that I have been experiencing has been the support that I get from the people at the tape seminars. And by being able to put things in the light in a way that I have never experienced in the past has been just so beneficial to me. And I'm very glad for what all this has been in my life as far as helping me through my life.
Can I ask you a question? You made a statement, and I'd like to ask you what the statement means, and you didn't have to answer it. But it's something that could be educational for me. You use the word during a sad time. I've been in a sad time or through a sad time. And I'm wondering what you mean when you use the word sad. What does that mean to you? I have a reference point inside of me to the word sad. That doesn't mean go back and recap things in your mind. It's just
No, it's a loss of a love that was really special to me in a special way. The love isn't lost, just like lost, but it's also, to me it's sad because I wasn't, and I'm still not completely able to cope with it. It's something I expect that I will grow from, but I'm not there yet.
Let me see if I can interpret for you. There's a love you have inside of you that you feel very strongly, and somebody out there represented it for you that made you know it more inside of you. And when that representation left, it took some of the feeling you had inside of you with them. And so part of the feeling with you is out there someplace with this representation of what was love to you. And if that could all come back to you so you feel complete and whole, either by the person coming back with it, or a new person coming in to take the place of it, to exemplify it exactly, or if you could come back into that place of you, inside of you, where you extended it out and pull it back so the place inside of you that is loving can have the total feeling without a representation in your mind of what that's supposed to be, then you could be okay with what's going on right now. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
There's a phenomenon that takes place with people. It's called owning exactly everything inside of us, or giving over ownership to somebody else of part of us. And sad news is we can never give over ownership to somebody. It's even difficult to share it. But probably a statement, let's say if you and I were lovers, as an example, a way to say this is when you're around, I feel more loving. A truer way of saying that is there's a place inside of me that is extremely loving, and I feel that loving much more inside of me when you're around. But if you walk away, that place inside of me still stays loving. That's owning the total power and energy of what the loving is. And it doesn't empower you over me, but lets the loving be what it is inside of me, and then yours can be what it is inside of you. When it reaches a certain place where you can no longer contain it, then there's a demonstration of it. That's called the sharing of it. But most of it seemed, when you were talking, that it was thought processes in the mind of looking back at pictures that you're making in your mind, and then seeing where the emotions were in connection with the pictures. And when you see some pictures, the emotions would not be full of loving. They would feel like a drain or a drop inside of you. So it didn't look like there was a support system coming up inside of you based upon the picture you were looking at in your mind. Does that seem familiar to you, what I'm saying? Without looking at pictures.
No, I was just trying to think about where I was when I said what I said, that is giving this feedback to me
It would
now.
still be the same right now because I still experience it right now.
What you said is definitely something I can relate to.
Okay, that's the big key. So it's like now and then, and in between there might be future, because it's just an experience I see with you. So if you're making pictures in your mind about someone out there, whatever emotional feeling you have has to go out to sustain the picture, to make it feel like it's real. But if there's no object out there, then the mental thought goes out, the emotional feeling goes out, but there's no physical body to sustain it, so it falls. As it falls inside of you. It could even go down the pit of your stomach. Then when it gets down there, you've identified it as sad.
Yes.
And it's really just that the energy fell. If we just took away all type of labels and said the energy, your emotional, mental energy fell down into your body, and you want to bring it up here where there's a free-flowing energy form, what you can't do is take the picture and put it out there on an object that's not there and expect to sustain it emotionally, but you can do it inside of you. You can have a picture inside of you, a thought, get a feeling that matches it, and then see if you can hold on to it physically inside of you. Now, most people get a thought, like, I see a beautiful woman, I feel like I want to have her, but she won't go out with me. So then it falls down inside, and then I label the thing rejected, rather than the energy dropped. Do you understand that? Oh, she rejects me, she doesn't like me, she'll hate me. So then I've now got a word level called rejection that brings up other pictures of the past. It could have been long ago, far, far back, because words bring pictures. So then I not only have the picture of the immediate rejection, I got it strung out into some others also. So then I get to say, it always happens to me like that. Then now I've loaded the guns and put them against my brains. And that's just a form of mental, emotional suicide. If I have a thought and a feeling to match it and I can't move on it physically, then I immediately change the thought and the feeling to something I can do. So the pictures you make in your mind are habitual now. In other words, you've done it enough that you could just be going someplace and the picture just come in out of the clear blue sky. What that says is you're hallucinating outside of your field of awareness. The unconscious is hallucinating because the person isn't there. So it's a hallucination. And it comes sweeping up, comes through you. The things drop down, you go, oh God, what's that dropped feeling? Oh, it's because of, then you think and feel the thing all over again. Reprogram it, put it down, store it. You see how that works?
Do I ever?
Okay, that's real difficult. But there's a real easy cure to it. As strange as it may seem, you can't deal with anything outside of the level of your awareness for the simple reason you don't know it's there. But as soon as it does come into your level of awareness, you have to cancel what's going on. You have to cancel it. The way you cancel it is mentally. As soon as it comes up, you just say, stop. Now, as you're looking at me, just get a picture in your mind. And when you got it, just nod your head. Any kind of picture. Okay, change the picture. Did it go away? No, before you even closed your eyes. As soon as I went like that, your picture changed. That's another way of saying stop. You ever see somebody try to flag down a car? They go like this. Because it stops a person from thinking where they're going and they have to focus on the new thing. Well, that's how you do it outwardly. So inwardly, when I see people do it, I say, time out. And they go, oh. And they go, time out. Because they make a word in their mind, a picture that says, don't do anything on the word time out. But the other thing is to tell your mind inside, stop. Now, the first 30, 40 times it won't, or it might. But it doesn't matter, because if it stops at number 31, you got it made. But if it doesn't, they'll still do the next 5,000. But if you can do it, if you can confront it 5,001 times and stop it, you don't have to do the next 10,000. So you might say, how long do I have to do it? And I say, well, until it stops. But the mind will listen to you, because you're the one that put the picture in there. You, whoever I'm talking to, put the picture in your mind. You, whoever I'm talking to, brought the emotions up to sustain it, to make it real, your perception of reality. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, because I don't even care to talk about that. But it's true to you. So we have to deal with it as though it was really true. So your perception of the truth is what's bothering you, because something inside of you is convinced it happened just exactly that way. So if it is true and it happened that way, there's no reason to change it, and how can I? But maybe it didn't happen that way. That's what I like to suggest to you. And that you can take a picture in your mind, put that picture there, and with the imagination, just take two great big brushes and just paint black X's across it. Now, a lot of people say, oh, no, I wouldn't do that to my memory. The memory's so precious. I say, what do you mean? It's killing you. But what happens when you paint it out, that's an action inside the mind that fits a mechanism that the emotion can't get into. Because the emotion doesn't know how to react to black X's. And we can show everybody black X's, and we say, what's your emotional feeling? You go, I don't know. So then you fantasize one. If you just see black X's, you can't relate to it. You get the idea? There's nothing there. If we say it's a cross, then you go to a cross and you make a picture, a label, and make a cross appear. And then run your emotions based upon what a cross means to you. So as soon as you X those out, the emotions can't come up. When they can't come up, you still get to have the picture of what happened, but you don't get to have the emotions run the picture against you, which you call sadness. That's how I've been experiencing that with you. So you still get to have the experience, the memory, the picture, but not running you. It's one of those things then that becomes a resource to you in your life to help you cope with other things that appear, because now you know how to deal with it. Instead of a cursed event that happened to you, know, God, how do I get out of it? And how do I grow from it? And I'm saying, that's really a poor excuse to try to grow from something that was so tremendously loving and nurturing inside of you, is not to grow from it, neither to sustain it, but to use it as a resource inside of you. As soon as it becomes a resource, other people who have difficulties along the same line will come seeking you out, not knowing why. And when they start to tell you what it is, you will already have the resource, and when you talk, they'll know the truth that you speak. Because you're speaking from experience. And you're resourcing yourself, sourcing the truth. And when they hear it and you explain how you do it and you work with it, they go, oh, yeah. They start then curing, nurturing, healing. But the experiences don't go away. If you wipe out the experience, you're a robot to the new choice. The same as you're a robot to the choice you got now. You get to understand the idea, like the choice comes at you and you can't do anything about it. If we wipe that out and give you another choice, you're a robot to the new choice. So you got to have this choice and this one and this one and this one and a whole new one. That's called resourcing. Good therapists, good counselors have a whole repertoire of experiences of their life to bring forward. Now, you notice how the energy with all that's changed inside of you.
Yes.
Now, you feel a strength with it.
I feel definitely more comfortable with it.
Comfortable, yeah. Well, comfortable is a strength. When we're in an uncomfortable area, we don't feel strong. We feel
clearer. Also.
I wasn't talking to the part of you that knew how to do what you were doing. I was talking to the part of you that didn't know how to do what you were doing. And as I was talking to it, you were monitoring it. Because you already knew what you knew. but you didn't know what it knew. So I was telling you what it knew. And as I told you, you'd go, right, yeah, it was below your level of awareness, but still it was running in there. So all we did was surface it, and you go, that's what I've been feeding. Okay, I'll let you grow up now. You can mature. Now, how long ago did this incident happen as an idea? A year, 2 years ago? 6 months ago?
It's been back and forth for 8, 9 months.
Okay, so looking at a year as an idea, because it probably started back before it surfaced.
Before I became aware.
Yeah, because it's in that unconscious area.
Right.
The energy that you have to use to hold and suppress an action around you turns your creative life force in. When the life force goes in and it's not an uplifting action, it goes down. That means the face pulls in, the body pulls in, it feels like you're being compressed and like an implosion. When that energy comes available to you, it starts to lift open like a flower lift out, and your face lifted. So as I was talking to you, I knew when I was on the track, because your face started opening up like a flower. I don't even have to know the incident. It's immaterial.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Just have to know the process. So people can say all sorts of things in contributions and get free, and people don't even know what they've talked about, except the person went through a process. And what I did is I verbalized the process for you. And now that you heard it verbalized, you can just do it mentally. Anytime, any place you want to. You may want to visualize yourself back here sitting down going, okay, wait a minute, a second. Oh, I get it, okay. And restructure the pleasant feeling here. What happened is you're using a year-old method. How old are you now?
44.
Okay. You're using a 43-year-old method to run a 44-year-old woman. But it goes back more than 43. This thing goes way back into 8, 9, 10 years old. So what we got here actually is you using, this sounds like a real put down, but it isn't, it's just information. And that might be for all of us that do that. Using an 8-year-old response, emotional response, to make decisions for you when you're 44 years old. Now, that's crazy. Because you're a more mature woman now with more mature explanations and understandings of your life. And you've got to take those maturities back into the 8-year-old situation. It goes like this. Gee, when I was 8 years old, I didn't have courage, I didn't have confidence. I wouldn't speak up for myself. I do that now. Well, that 8-year-old don't care because it's already got the pattern set. So you have to go back to the 8-year-old with the feelings of courage, confidence, and strength, and plant them in the 8-year-old with visual technique. You go back in your mind and you say, gee, when that incident happened, I was courage. Now I would speak up for myself. I can speak up. I can have courage. I can have strength. And it's okay the way it happened because now I know better. And you can, if you do it with your eyes closed, you can open your eyes. And the response changes immediately right here because you didn't go anywhere.
When you're going back to 8 years old, are you saying, or whatever age, that the programming for response took place at that time, and this is what is coming forth now, the same programming that took place at age 8?
The same response is coming forward. You're handling it like a 44-year-old woman, not well, because it's not going away. So you have to go back to where the incidents had the key effects. You may have to backtrack to 37, 33, 29, 25. As you go back to these incidents that have emotional charges in your life, they'll all feel almost the same. And you look at them and you think, oh God, I said things I shouldn't have said, and I put my heart out on my sleeve, and I stomped on it, and I did that before. And so those responses are all coming right up to today. And you're saying, yeah, God, I'm ready to go into another, and my heart's right out there, and I'm going to get smashed again, and I don't want to, and I'm hurting, so I'm withdrawing, and that hurts, because I want to love and be loved, and I want to share and be nurtured and nurture someone. But I can't based upon these whole line of emotional responses. So it's like dominoes. So you can either go back to 8 and hit the dominoes forward, or go from 44 and hit the dominoes backwards. But miss one, and that response will come forward. That's not bad news. When it comes forward, you go, gotcha, and you go back and change it. Now, if you do age regression, hypnotic age regression, that won't work because you're going back reliving the thing with the same intensity and you haven't got anything clear in it. So all you've done is fortify it. So you have to go back there with all the confidence and ability of today. So you stay present and take yourself back into that situation because it's only make-believe. In other words, it's fictitious. It ain't real. It's real right now. See, that's mythology. But mythology is running you. So go back and restructure your mythology to the way you want it. Now, it's a trick. It's just a darn right trick. It's a dirty trick, except it works. When that thing goes, now let's go. The energy that's stuck back down in the unconscious, because it still hallucinates and carries on, comes up forward, and that area comes clear, and you feel whole, complete, and you're ready to go out there and meet the world again. But this time you're meeting it with the ability levels that you have present with you, plus the old ability levels aren't pulling on you. There's no fear. There's no yeah buts in there. It's I'll do this, and the way I do it will be the way I do it, and how it turns out will be how it turns out, and I'm going to live with that, and it'll be okay. And then when it happens, it will be okay, because you already said it would. You get that?
I think so.
Well, you're making
it's
things
a lot to get.
Now, you're making things okay or not okay inside of you. You're doing it. Nobody else in the room is.
Right.
So if you're making things not okay, you're doing it. And if you can make it not okay, why not make it okay? Just because it'd be to your advantage. And you don't have to tell anybody else anything. Just inside of you, you're just like, that's okay. It's, I ran the car over the cliff. That's just got to be okay because I did it. I can't keep killing myself because I ran the car over the cliff. Once is enough. I did it once, and that's it. Now, if you're saying, well, I want to learn from it, then don't keep going over it. Go from it. To learn from it, you have to go from it. If you keep going in it, then you're learning in it, but you haven't learned anything. If you're saying, well, I'd hit the brake, I would have done this, I would have done that, so go ahead and do it in your mind and set the whole thing up how you didn't go over the cliff. And you go, but it's not true, I did go over the cliff. That's okay, do it anyway. So you restructure your personal history, you bring it up, the car went over the cliff, and you're okay because you got a new car. People get phobias that way, and that's how they get rid of phobias. So the phobia is not important. It never has been. It's how you go about dealing with it. If you have a phobia about climbing in a lion's den, the way you deal with it is not be concerned about climbing in the lion's den. You deal with the process. You don't climb in the lion's den. See, that's the process. You deal with that. So you never have to deal with the object. Let somebody else be the lion. Now that all translates back down to your own personal experiences. I can just deal with my process. When I go start thinking these things, I'll just change them and think of something else. Anything else?
I worked on that one for a while.
Yeah. And tell yourself you can do it instantly. See, what you did, you say, well, I'll work on it for a while, which now sets up a while. And you can say, I'm going to work on that instantly. That one's done. You guys understand what I'm saying? There's no need to reprogram yourself in another way. Go, wham, go.
God,
Okay, anything else?
Very special.
Yeah. More where that came from. Obviously, among other things, Jara is a brilliant psychologist. And generally speaking, there's something we refer to as the healing of memories, and that was a great demonstration of how that worked with Jara processing with one person at a home seminar. And so it's really wonderful to share that with you this evening. And to encourage you, wherever you are in your process, to consider that patience, that ability, that strength, wisdom that was being demonstrated is always available in this consciousness inside each one of us. It really doesn't care what we call it. So the traveler, mystical traveler, that's something Jared gave, I think, so that we would maybe open our mind and just be aware of something that's eternal, that's always with us, with all people. So it's really about something that goes way beyond a religious teaching or something we have to memorize or learn. It's an experiential gift that's here. And as a way to, bring that into a full completion and an opportunity to claim it. And, I was admiring how beautifully Jer was holding for the person to have that experience. And then when she had it, she had to hug him, which was in itself amazing, to be at a seminar where Jer was available to that. Okay, here we go. Dear Lord, we're gathered here in this presence that is also gathered with us in the light. And whatever is here in each one's heart, in any form of a need, a request, whatever it is that anybody is calling for, whatever would serve healing, balancing, clearing, learning, and growing. And I hear Jerry saying, anything else? And whatever anything else is. That it all is answered. It's all brought forward as a blessing. So we can let go, we can claim it in the completion of it. But it's done spiritually. And the most important quality is that we have acceptance. We have openness and willingness to participate. So we shift into that. So there's perfect acceptance, perfect openness and willingness to participate. That whatever we don't know how to do of our own accord, our own ability, whatever is unconscious as a restriction or block, that we give it up. We invite the light, the love, this holy presence that is with us, to bathe us, to surround us, to fill us up so we're overflowing. That we can find our alignment, we can find our direction. That from this point on, we consciously know the way is prepared. All the way. It is done. We give thanks. Beirish Beshan. All right, so something is on the level of a surprise. I don't know exactly what that is, but I think Lee might know something about it. So what would you like to share with us at this point?
Yes, well, our our beloved Phil. So we have a fabulous excerpt from JR on birthdays. And then the Beatles have a birthday song for John.
We celebrate Christ's birthday even at the wrong time of the year. But nevertheless, the idea is that we're also talking about our own life. And every year it comes around, instead of 1 year older, it's one more opportunity. You know, this year coming up, there will be 365 more opportunities for you. And the year after that, there will be 365 more opportunities, because he's not just giving out one a year. He's giving them out every day. Every day, at least one. And there may be more, depending on how you line up with it. So you say to the cells of your body, and to your mind, and to the neurons, you belong in and from and to God. Very special.